Last week was Amavasya Friday. So what is today? Just another Friday. It is not another Friday. Even if you go to Srinivasa in Tirumala, Bhagavan Srinivasa is having Abhishekam on Friday only. Somehow, we all have developed a strange mentality. Saturday, Srinivasa, they go together. You ask her, she will fast on Saturday. Why are you fasting on Saturday? Oh, I prayed to Srinivasa. Srinivasa and Saturday have no connection at all. Maybe in America, Saturday, Sunday is a holiday. So Saturday they started doing Abhishekam to Srinivasa. So that's how people thought Saturday is very dear to Srinivasa. No. Even the Abhishekam in Tirumala is done on Friday. Why it is done on Friday? They are Divya Dampatis. Neither Narayana nor Mahalakshmi alone can make Dampatis. So for Dampatis, you require both the wife and husband. That's why they are called a divine couple, Divya Dampatis. In fact, the understanding between Mahalakshmi and Narayana, what Mahalakshmi thinks, Narayana knows. What Narayana thinks, Mahalakshmi knows. Such is their beautiful understanding. And Bhagavan loves to do anything that Mahalakshmi will be happy. And same thing, Mahalakshmi loves to do anything that Bhagavan likes it. Their mutual relationship is beyond our imagination. Beyond our imagination. So why that Abhishekam on Friday? Because tad vakshasthala nityavasa rasikam tad kshanti samvardhini. Because that Mahalakshmi is there constantly sitting on his right chest, making a permanent impression called Srivatsam. When you do the Abhishekam, the water that is there falling on the feet of Mahalakshmi will fall on the body of Narayana, and he is extremely happy with that. That is the reason why the Abhishekam is done for Srinivasa on Friday. I wish a day will come when we can do for Srinivasa here also, every Friday Abhishekam. That is the ideal way. And that Mahalakshmi, same thing, she loves just to do only those things that Bhagavan Narayana likes. And what is it that Lord Narayana likes? Looks, you are the only one having children here. Oh, you're a small child. Okay. Amma, anyone else? That boy is there. Where are your parents, sir? That boy, yeah. Okay. Where do you want to go your child, Amma? When he grows big, you want him to go to a community college? You want him to go to a state university, Rutgers or Stony Brook? Or you want him to go to MIT or Harvard? MIT. Very good. So when it comes to your child, you want your child to go to MIT, Harvard, right? So if you are expecting your child to go to MIT or Harvard, he can get a degree from a community college also. He can get a degree from a state university also. But you want your child to go to the best of the best places and get a degree, right? When you are thinking like that, it is wrong. Is it wrong on the part of Mahalakshmi and Narayana? On their part, because we are his children. These fellows are going to go to hell. These fellows are going to go to heaven. But why not they come to the best of the best places, Vaikuntham? Is it wrong on the part of Narayana to think like that? Same thing. Whether it is a community college or state university or MIT, wherever you can go, you can get a degree. That's not a problem. But if you are looking for your child to go to the best of the best places, either Harvard or MIT or Princeton, same thing Narayana is expecting. My children, why are they like ignorant people? Why are they thinking of going to community colleges, state universities? Why can't they come to Harvard or MIT? In his opinion, going to hell, going to heaven, again coming back and taking birth is only community colleges, nothing more than that. The best of the best places, Vaikuntham. Yad gatva nani vartante tadhama paramam mama. Why can't my children come to the best place to me? I will provide everything for them, everything for them. That is what Narayana likes. So what is Mahalakshmi's job? To do anything that pleases her husband. Therefore, what is she doing? Collecting all the Jivatmas and recommending them to Lord Narayana. Yes, they made so many mistakes. It's okay, forgive them and accept them. The very fact, you know what my teachers used to say? It is again very unfortunate that we all studied in India and somehow passed the exams. When you passed the exam, what does it mean? You got 35% and you passed, right? So from our perspective, I got 35%, I passed the exam. But you know, from Narayana's perspective, hello, you still don't know what is 65%. When we get 35% and pass the exam, right? Suppose she becomes a doctor. She got 35% and passed. She goes there with a problem. Hello, I got only 35%. 65% I don't know. I don't know how to treat you. Go. What will you think? What kind of a doctor are you, right? So the way Bhagavan looks at us is not that you got 35%. He is looking at what about the 65% you did not get. What about the 65% that you are not comfortable with, right? If you are comfortable, you would have got more marks, right? So when Bhagavan is looking for Mahalakshmi, you are recommending this fellow is passing the exam because he got 35%. But I am looking, what about the 65% he doesn't know? That is where Mahalakshmi comes into picture. You know what she is asking? Be happy, this fellow got at least 35%. That day when that Ravana who literally kidnapped me and was torturing me, who should get negative marks actually? So if that fellow Ravana surrenders to you, you promise to forgive his sins and give him moksham, right? So when a fellow with a negative marks you can forgive and give moksham, be happy, this fellow got at least 35%. Be happy, this fellow got at least 35%. Accept him. Accept his Sharanagati and give moksham. No one else could do that. No one else could do that. Only a mother who has the utmost concern for the welfare of the children is doing it. But you know, our unfortunate thing, we do not even want to go to the mother, our unfortunate thing. At least if you go to the mother and say, please forgive me, I could get only 35%, recommend me to Narayana and get me moksham. Just to do that one word, that you are interested in moksham. That is the greatness of Mahalakshmi. She will not only forgive our mistakes, recommend our candidature and make Narayana listen to our prayers and make him accept our Sharanagati. That is why that Mahalakshmi alone could be called as the universal mother. Otherwise, according to Lord Krishna, forget about Svargalokam, which is only the third system in the hierarchy. Because in the Urdhvalokas, we have Bhulokam where we are. Above this, Bhuvarlokam, Suvarlokam, Suvarlokam is Svargalokam, Maharlokam, Tapolokam, Janalokam, Brahmalokam. Even if you go to the Brahmalokam, the highest of the highest one, every other world is only below the Brahmalokam. Be it Indralokam, Svargalokam, or Rudralokam, or any other Devi Devata lokas, all of them are below the Brahmaloka only. That is why Krishna says, forget about talking about these, lower worlds. Even if you go to the highest one, Brahmalokam, you still have to come back and take birth again. You can spend there thousands of years, enjoy all these Svarga Bhogas. But once your Punya Karma is exhausted, they will send you out and again you have to come back and take birth. Is it anything good to do like that? So come to the highest one beyond the Brahmalokam. Yad gatva na nivartanti tadhama paramam mama. When you say, why do you call that Vaikuntham as Parandhamam? Once you go there, you will never come back to this material world. When you come back suppose you come back, Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. Again you have to go through the same problems again. Again you have to go through birth. You have birth, guaranteed death. You have birth and death, In between we have old age and diseases. In between we have old age and diseases. That is why they say, Na Vasudeva Bhaktanam Ashubham Vidyate Kvachit Janma Mrutyu Jara Vyadhi Bhayam Na Upajayate. So if you want to get out of the fear of Janma, Mrutyu, Jara, Vyadhi, become Vasudeva's Bhakta. And when you become that Vasudeva's Bhakta, you are guaranteed Mahalakshmi is there to take care of you. And that Mahalakshmi will recommend your candidature to Lord Sriman Narayana for acceptance. And when Mahalakshmi recommends, because Bhagavan wants to do everything that pleases Mahalakshmi, that is how we get moksha. Not because of our greatness or anything. Otherwise, the amount of karma that we have is unimaginable. The amount of karma is unimaginable. Can't believe it? When we are taking this birth itself, do not think this is the end of our lives. We have got only some karma to go through in this life. But there is already enough karma for the next thousands of births. And every time we take a birth, we add more to that. We add more to that. So already thousands of births of karma, this birth we have taken, we are not reducing it. We are adding another 20 births worth of karma. So by the time we leave this body, when we take the body, it is just like, when we took the body, there is already 1,000 births worth of karma. By the time we complete the body, we made it 1,020 births worth of karma. Another body, you add another 30 births of karma. It is a never-ending process. The only way is when Mahalakshmi recommends and when Bhagavan says, Aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. Only when he says, I will forgive all your sins. Be it thousands of births, be it millions of births, only then it will go. Until then, we have no choice. So, be grateful to Mahalakshmi. When that day comes, when you are fortunate to go to Mahalakshmi and ask for salvation, she will be there just waiting for you to recommend your candidature to Narayana.